Today I will be talking about the type of steering on my 97 Ford F-250. My truck has hydraulic power steering, and I know this because there are power steering lines that go out of my my steering gearbox. Another way that I could tell that I have hydraulic power steering is that behind my bumper I have a power steering cooler, and when I pop open my hood, there is a power steering reservoir. The type of steering gear that I have, well, it's in the assembly in the picture shown. I have a recirculating ball steering gearbox that has a worm gear and a sector shaft. Also, my worm gear is connected to a ball nut, which allows my sector shaft to move. And when my sector shaft moves, the pitman arm that is connected to my sector shaft allows my steering linkage to move, which allows me to steer my vehicle. Moving on to my steering linkage, here you can see my outer tie rod link, which is then connected to a sleeve, and that sleeve is then connected into my inner tie rod. My inner tie rod then connects to my center link, which has my pitman arm and my idler arm. I forgot to mention, but the type of steering linkage that I have is parallelogram steering linkage. Here you can see my steering column going through the firewall. The little boot is what's surrounding my upper steering column linkage. Here you can see my intermediate shaft. Over my intermediate shaft is a dust cover that covers a U-joint, and following the U-joint is my worm gear. In the following video, I performed a dry park test. I had someone move my steering wheel while I checked every spot. So right here is my outer tie rod end link. Seems okay. There seems to be no movement there. Here's my inner tie rod link. Right here. Also seems to be no movement. Seems perfectly fine. This is my pitman arm. Here's the other side. This is my idler arm. Here's my outer tie rod end link on the other side. No movement at all. Seems good. Lastly, in order to remove my inner tie rod, here in this picture you can see that there are two jam nuts on my tie rod sleeve, and in order to remove my inner tie rod, I would have to loosen the jam nut and both jam nuts, remove them away. So in order to remove the sleeve and loosen it so it's out of the inner tie rod, and then from there I would have to take a tape breaker and break the ball joint that's connecting my inner tie rod to my center link.